All right, and we've got, yeah. All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Austin Grammer. I'm the Economic Development Coordinator for the City of Bloomington. Today, we are conducting the annual Joint Review Board meetings for the city's 3 tax increment financing districts. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting of this Joint Review Board to order. I do just want to make a statement, though, provided by our legal department, that this meeting is being held with both virtual and physical participation in accordance with the executive orders issued pursuant to the governor's current disaster proclamation and in accordance with amendments to the Open Meetings Act adopted in response to the current public health emergency resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you, George and the legal department for that. Appreciate it. At this time, we'll get started with the Joint Review Board meeting for the Empire Street Corridor TIF District. After that, we'll do the Downtown Southwest TIF District and the East Washington Street TIF District. So now for the Empire Street TIF District, we'll call the roll, and I'll pass it off to City Planner Katie Simpson, who will do that.
Thank you, Austin. Melissa Hahn with the City of Bloomington.
Here.
Kimberly Smith with the City of Bloomington. Dr. Barry Riley with District 87.
Here.
Letitia Trepek with Heartland Community College.
Here.
Deborah Skilrod with City of Bloomington Township.
Here.
Camille Rodriguez with McLean County.
Here.
Tim Elvin with Benward.
Here.
Carl Olson with Sierra. Jeannie Hamilton with the Bloomington Public Library. Austin Grammer with the City of Bloomington.
I'm here, thank you.
Scott Rathburn, Finance Director with City of Bloomington. Colin Manahan with District 87.
Here.
And John Pratt with District 87.
Here.
And Kathy Field Orr with the City of Bloomington.
Here.
Okay. That is everyone, Austin.
Thank you very much, Katie. Right now, I'll turn it over to City of Bloomington Economic and Community Development Director, Melissa Hahn, to get the meeting going. Melissa?
Thanks, Austin. Good afternoon, everyone. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that Kimberly Smith be appointed to be the public member of the meeting. Is there a member of the Joint Review Board who would like to second that motion?
I'll second. Barry Riley.
Let the record show that Barry Riley seconded my motion to appoint Kimberly Smith as a public member. Katie, could you please take the roll?
Okay, may I interrupt? The roll for voting members are Deborah, Camille, Letitia, Superintendent Riley, and yourself, Melissa. We only have 5 voting members. We're happy to see all these other participants.
Thanks, Kathy. Katie, could you take the roll of the voting members?
Camille Rodriguez.
Aye.
Deborah Skilrod.
Aye.
Letitia Trepek.
Aye.
Dr. Barry Riley.
Aye.
And Melissa Hahn.
Yes.
The public member now has a right to vote on the next motion.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Melissa Hahn as the chairperson. Is there a member of the JRB who would like to second that?
I'll second it. Deb Skilrod.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Deb Skilrud.
Let the record show that Deb Skilrud seconded my motion to appoint Melissa Hahn as the chairperson. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Roll call votes are required because we're Zooming. Sorry.
Okay, then can Katie call the roll?
Camille Rodriguez,
Aye.
Deborah Skilrod,
Aye.
Letitia Trepek,
Aye.
Dr. Barry Riley,
Aye.
Kimberly Smith,
Aye.
and Melissa Hahn.
Aye. Thank you. The motion carries. Included in the annual report packet for the Empire Street Corridor TIF District is a copy of the minutes from the December 6th, 2019 JRB meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? And are there any corrections needed?
I'll move approval of the minutes as presented.
I second. This is Camille.
Katie, could we get a roll call vote of the voting members?
Camille Rodriguez,
Aye.
Deborah Skilrod,
Yes.
Letitia Trepek,
Aye.
Dr. Barry Riley,
Aye.
Kimberly Smith,
Aye.
and Melissa Hahn.
Aye. Motion carries. At this time, we will have Austin Grammer review the highlights of the annual report of the Empire Street Corridor TIF District.
Thank you, Melissa. Before we get into reviewing the annual report, I did just want to provide a brief overview of kind of the history and background of the Empire Street Corridor TIF District, since we have a couple of new representatives from the different taxing districts here with us. The Empire Street Corridor TIF District was initiated and adopted and approved by the City Council in February 2016. It includes an area along Empire Street between Veterans Parkway, stretching all the way west to Towanda Avenue, and including the Bloomington Junior High and High School campus. We contracted with PGAV Planners, a economic development consulting firm, to study the entire area, and PGAV conducted a eligibility study and determined that the area qualified as a conservation area, that a majority of the buildings in the TIF district were 35 years old or older. There was deterioration, obsolescence, excessive land coverage, vacancy found throughout the entire area. The main motivation to establish the TIF was the city's desire to partner with the owner of the Colonial Plaza Shopping Center, which had been anchored by Kmart. When Kmart closed, the shopping center was suffering from tremendous amount of vacancy, and other retailers had closed over the years prior to that. Also, there was a vacant Circuit City building in between the Kmart and the rest of the shopping center that was separately owned, and so that complicated the redevelopment of that building. By the city and the taxing districts partnering with the developer through the TIF district, we were able to put together an incentive package to assist the developer, the owner of the shopping center, in overcoming the extraordinary costs of redeveloping the former vacant Kmart, and to be able to attract the national retailers like Dick's Sporting Goods, Home Goods, Five Below, Carter's Oshkosh B'gosh, DSW, and Orange Theory Fitness. Additionally, because of all these new great retailers and investment coming to the shopping center, the former Circuit City building was able to be attract and as a new tenant PetSmart, and that property was redeveloped without TIF assistance. And here you can see a cool photograph I was able to take on the actual day that they were installing the TIF sign, one of my favorite pictures from that project. But that project employed many, many local contractors. And so not only did it create temporary construction jobs, but has gone on to create many long-term jobs at all the different retailers that are there. Additionally, the city, through the Tiff district, has partnered with the owner of what was the Baymont Inn on IAA Drive. That property was falling into disrepair, and so a new owner came in and purchased it, and through the partnership with the city, renovated it into the Best Western Plus, as you see there. A totally new facade, a new canopy, a new signage. We also have some great things going on out in front of what is now Empire Crossing Shopping Center in what is the Empire Plaza, two strip retail buildings, and then a former restaurant building that has been demolished and replaced with a strip mall. Here you can see this is from the advertising packet that the developer has come in and acquired 3 different parcels, 4 buildings in total, demolished the former restaurant and replaced it with this retail strip center here anchored by Sleep Number. And then there's also the renovation of the former Schlotsky's restaurant into the OSF Ergo building. These renderings indicate the plans for the 2 vacant buildings in the rear that face towards the Empire Crossing Shopping Center. The developer has a signed commitment from operator of a Qdoba restaurant and is working to secure leases for the other remaining spaces. And so that's what we're seeing here is a facade rendering or rendering of the future facade. So we're hopeful that this renovation of these 2 buildings will occur sometime in 2021. The pandemic has certainly slowed this, but there still continues to be strong interest. And a lot of that is a result of all of the investment in the backyard of that development at the Empire Crossing Shopping Center. Another great news story to report. We see and hope for redevelopment of the former gas station and Chicago pizza restaurant and wig salon building that's on the property that's owned by the owner of Empire Crossing. They have submitted a site plan showing the demolition of the 2 existing buildings and the new construction of a small multi-unit retail strip center with a drive-through lane on the west side of the building. And so that'll be a really nice redevelopment at the gateway of this shopping center, right at the frontage road at the light there with Empire. And so here's another sort of a rendering with that. We don't have any retailers, names of retailers to disclose at this time, I'm sorry, but we're very hopeful, again, with the great national retailers that have located in the shopping center that some really good retailers will be attracted to this space. Elsewhere in the Tiff district, we have some properties that present some future opportunities, but also challenges, as I've highlighted here. The former bowling alley on Holiday Drive on the east side of Veterans Parkway, and also the former post office across the street from Towanda Plaza Shopping Center, and the former GTE Verizon office building parcel. All of these sites are listed for sale. City staff have been aggressive in communicating with the brokers that are listing these properties to let them know that we as the city are ready and willing to assist with the complete redevelopment of these properties through the Tiff district. Tiff offers the opportunity to partner with the developer to assist with property acquisition, demolition, all sorts of different opportunities there. Many of these buildings are very tired on their potential 2nd or 3rd generation of use. So we see, again, potential opportunity in the future. And we've had some relatively good interest in these properties, but yet at this time, nothing strong to indicate. Elsewhere in the Tiff district, the city has taken the initiative to make public improvements, which are Tif eligible costs. The resurfacing of IAA Drive on the east side of the Empire Crossing Shopping Center, as indicated here, and also the reconfiguration of the intersection of Fairway and Empire frontage, adding this new raised median that's indicated here and resurfacing the street as well. That will significantly improve the safety of this intersection. And this was designated by the City Council as a TIF eligible redevelopment project. Additionally, the city, at the request of District 87, relocated this traffic signal control box that's shown here on the left side of the screen to improve the view of the very nice and attractive new sign that District 87 has installed at the intersection of Locust and Colton. So we appreciate District 87's investment in this area, again, trying to make for a very attractive area, not only for the public, but also for potential investors to want to come and purchase properties and make investment in the city. So that is kind of just a quick recap of what's been occurring in the TIF since it was established in 2016, focusing on the TIF report, which is available on the Illinois Comptroller's website and will also be posted to the city's website later today or tomorrow after this meeting. We have a summary of the activity, and included within there is a summary of an amendment to the redevelopment agreement between the city and the owner of the Empire Crossing Shopping Center. One of the requirements set forth in that agreement is that the annual sales of the new to the city retailers be 20 million or more gross sales per year. Unfortunately, that amount was not met in the calendar year of 2019, pre-pandemic. City staff, along with the assistance of Kathy Fieldor, our TIF attorney, met with the developer during 2020, during the pandemic time, and determined that the best path forward would be an amendment to the agreement, which would allow for the developer to continue to earn back the incentives that have been committed by the city, but also at the same time removing the force majeure provision in the agreement that would have allowed the developer to trigger that, especially during this pandemic time. You know, many of those stores were closed, so it's unlikely for 2020 calendar year that the minimum sales would be 20 million. So that element has been removed in this new amendment. And so we feel that this will still incentivize the developer to make continued investments in the property, and also take into account, you know, the new landscape in retail that has been brought on by the pandemic. We've also made a rebate to the owner of the Baymont Inn, now Best Western Plus property. That property, of course, though, during this year of pandemic, is being impacted by the pandemic and low stays at hotels such as that property. So we'll have to continue to monitor that into the next fiscal year. Additionally, as I indicated back in 2018, the City Council had designated a portion of the IAA Drive and Fairway Drive improvement projects as TIF eligible expenses. So there's a summary of that and the financials related to that in the report, and also about the Locust and Colton Street report. Again, we've been in contact with many different prospective developers, property owners, real estate brokers throughout the TIF area, working to promote this area and let it be known that the city is focusing on this area as a key gateway to the community. Outside of the TIF district, we're seeing continued investment, which is positive, and we feel has been brought on by the investment that has occurred within the TIF. And so we feel that this has been a good project, and we look forward to more private investment occurring in the future. Be happy at this time to answer any questions regarding the annual report.
Just one question on the amendment relating to the $20 million in sales. That's understandable, I think. Is that a set time frame, or is that amendment for the life of the TIF? How does that work?
Right, the 20-year term of the agreement is not changed. It remains the same. And so the developer has the opportunity to continue to earn back through sales tax rebates and property tax increment rebates, the $4 million incentive, which is broken out roughly 50-50 in sales tax and property tax. And so the sales tax portion of that agreement is for 10 years. That time frame remains unchanged. And then the property tax portion of the agreement is for the full 20 years. So more investment by the developer sooner rather than later will help them have the ability to earn back that on both the sales tax and property tax components of the agreement. Does anyone else have any questions regarding this TIF district or any of the activities in it from this year? Okay, well, I'll pass it over to Melissa then to go on with the next step in the meeting.
Thank you, Austin. That now concludes the review of the annual report for the Empire Street Corridor TIF District for 2020, for FY 2020. We're now going to move on to the public comment portion of our meeting. Per the city's public comment meeting policy, each person desiring to make a public comment will be provided 3 minutes in which to do so. Does any member of the audience wish to make a public comment at this time? I don't believe we had anyone call in for this portion of the public comment, and we have no one here physically in City Hall to make public comment. So that concludes the JRB meeting for the Empire Street Corridor TIF District. Kathy, do we need to call roll to adjourn? Or do we wait till the very end?
Why don't you just declare it adjourned?
Okay.
And then we don't have to bother with roll call.
Okay, that adjourns the Empire Street Corridor TIF District JRB meeting. We will now move on to the JRB meeting for the Downtown Southwest TIF District. For the purposes of record, I recommend that the same persons who were previously appointed to be the public member and the chairperson for the prior JRB meeting retain those roles for the JRB meeting for the Downtown Southwest TIF District. Is there any objection to that?
Well done.
Hearing no objection, let the record state that Kimberly Smith will serve as a public member and I, Melissa Hahn, will serve as the chairperson. Included in the annual report packet for the Downtown Southwest TIF District is a copy of the minutes from the December 6, 2019 JRB meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes, and are there any corrections needed?
I'll move approval of the minutes as presented.
Let the record show that Dr. Barry Riley has motioned to approve the minutes from the December 6, 2019 JRB meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second Deb Skilrud.
Let the record show that Deb Skilrud seconded the motion to approve the minutes. Katie, can we get a roll call of the voting members?
Camila Rodriguez,
Aye.
Deborah Skilrud,
Aye.
Letitia Trepek,
Aye.
Dr. Barry Riley,
Aye.
Kimberly Smith,
Aye.
and Melissa Hahn.
Aye. All right, motion carries. At this time, Austin Grammer will review the highlights of the annual report of the Downtown Southwest TIF District.
Thank you, Melissa. So the Downtown Southwest TIF District was established in October of 2016 by the City Council. It includes an area bounded by Center Street and a portion of the properties to the west of Roosevelt Avenue Washington Street on the north and Front Street on the south, generally considered to be the southwest corner of the square, just north of the city's Grossinger Motors Arena. The primary properties within this TIF district include the former Commerce Bank, originally the People's Bank building shown on the right side of the screen, and the former Montgomery Ward, then Front and Center building shown on the left side of the screen. Both of these buildings are 100% vacant. Here's some shots from the roof of both of those buildings where you can see very clearly the prominent location and strategic location that this block has within the city's downtown, really serving well to connect the downtown square to the arena. Also included within the TIF district is the former Elks Lodge building, which is shown in the lower right corner of the photo on the right side of the screen. Again, the city partnered with PGAV Planners, economic development consulting firm, to study the area and determined that this area qualified for tax increment financing as a blighted area. Over multiple buildings in the TIF district are over 35 years of age, deterioration, obsolescence, lack of ventilation, excessive land coverage, structures below code, and a tremendous amount of vacancy. All of those are factors that qualified this area as being TIF eligible. The city has undertaken a couple of different public improvement projects and declared those as TIF projects. One of those is what is shown here, the Front Streetscape Improvement Project. This project stretched from Madison Street all the way to East Street outside the area of the TIF district, but the portion of the project and the expenses related to it within the boundaries of the TIF district are considered to be TIF eligible costs as indicated by the City Council, and those costs are outlined in the annual TIF report as well. Additionally, here's another view of that. So this is really improving the safety for pedestrians by constructing this mid-block crossing here with the detectable strips for those with vision impairment. Again, this currently is the Connect Transit Bus Transfer Center for downtown. Buses line up on both sides of Front Street here, so there is a lot of pedestrian traffic here. So these improvements really benefit the community, the bus riders, and the visitors to the Law and Justice Center and to businesses in the downtown area. The City Council also declared as a TIF eligible project the replacement of a large portion of sidewalk on the south side of the Front and Center building indicated here. Again, that's a very wide and thick, high portion of sidewalk in order to boost it up to assist Connect Transit riders with getting onto the bus. So that was a pretty significant project in and of itself. At this time, I'll go through the activity for the Downtown Southwest TIF District as indicated and detailed in the TIF report. Again, as I indicated, a couple of TIF eligible projects, the Front Streetscape Improvement Project and the replacement of that stretch of concrete. City staff have also been in communication with developers, prospective buyers for these properties, indicating not only are the properties in an enterprise zone, which provides for a sales tax exemption on building materials, but also that the properties are located within an active TIF district, positioning the city to partner with a prospective developer to acquire and renovate any of these properties, or for any current property owners to make investments in their property. So we look forward to the opportunity to do that and partner with developers through the TIF. But at this time, we don't have any specific developments in play. But again, we hope to have those in the near future. Does anyone have any questions regarding the TIF report or any of the activity in the Downtown Southwest TIF District? All right, well, hearing no questions, I'll pass it back to Melissa. Thank you.
You're muted, Melissa.
Okay, sorry. No, I was just checking on the public comment, Kathy, but thank you. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have anybody waiting online for public comment. Thanks, Austin. That now concludes the review of the annual report for the Downtown Southwest TIF District for fiscal year 2020. Does any member of the audience wish to make public comment at this time? We have no one here physically for public comment, and no one has called in for public comment. So that will conclude the JRB meeting for the Downtown Southwest TIF District. This meeting is adjourned. We will now move on to the JRB meeting for the Downtown East Washington Street TIF District. For the purpose of record, I recommend the same persons who were previously appointed to the public member and the chairperson for the prior JRB meeting retain those roles for the JRB meeting for the Downtown East Washington Street TIF District. Is there any objection to that? Hearing no objection, let the record state that Kimberly Smith will serve as the public member and I, Melissa Hahn, will serve as the chairperson. Included in the annual report packet for the Downtown East Washington Street TIF District is a copy of the minutes from the December 6, 2019 JRB meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes, and are there any corrections needed? Hearing none, is there a member of the JRB meeting that would like to make a motion that the minutes from the December 6, 2019 JRB meeting be approved?
So moved.
Let the record show that Dr. Barry Riley has motioned to approve the minutes from the December 6, 2019 JRB meeting. Is there anyone that would like to second that motion?
I second.
Let the record show that Camille Rodriguez has seconded the motion to approve the minutes. Katie, can we get a roll call vote of the voting members?
Rodriguez,
Aye.
Deborah Skilred,
Aye.
Letitia Tripic,
Aye.
Dr. Barry Riley,
Aye.
Kimberly Smith,
Aye.
and Melissa Hahn.
Aye. At this time, Austin Grammer will review the highlights of the annual report of the Downtown East Washington Street TIF District.
Thank you, Melissa. And before I get into the annual report, again, I can just provide a brief recap on the backstory on this TIF district. The Downtown East Washington Street TIF District was established by the City Council in June of 2018. The main motivation to establish this TIF district was the opportunity to partner with the owner of the former Bloomington High School property that is shown on the east side of the TIF area along Washington Street. Two additional full blocks of property were included in the TIF area, along with a half block on the north side of Jefferson Street and the parking lot and a single family home, both of which are owned by the owner of the former high school building. Again, the city partnered with PGAV planners to study the area. A full redevelopment or a full eligibility study was done on the area, indicating that the area qualified as a blighted and a conservation area. Multiple properties in the TIF area are over 35 years old or older. There was prevalent deterioration, environmental cleanup issues related to asbestos in multiple of the properties, obsolete buildings, vacant buildings, and structures below minimum code standards. So the TIF district was created, again, to primarily assist with the redevelopment of the former high school building. That project is ongoing and should be wrapping up by the end of this month, December 2020. Here's some construction shots from earlier this year. As you can see, many of the classrooms have been renovated into apartments. for seniors. They will be limited to seniors that have certain income levels. Partnership that the developer has with the Illinois Housing Development Authority in order to receive low-income housing tax credits, and also historic tax credits from the National Park Service are additional financial assistance for this project in addition to the Tiff investment. Many of the chalkboards have been retained as decorative features in the apartment units. That's something that the developer told me is something that the National Park Service likes to see those be reused as much as possible in order to maintain the historic character of the building. This slide here indicates the income limits for the people that would like to live in these apartments, 1 and 2 bedrooms. They must be 55 years old or older and have a household income for a single person household for a 1-bedroom not exceeding $40,080 per year. Additional information about this property, 58 units of affordable senior housing can be found on the developer's website. It's listed as Washington Senior Apartments. Additionally included within the Tiff area is a city-owned former Coachman Motel property that's shown here in a historic photograph from the McLean County History Museum. The city acquired this property, I believe it was in the late 1990s or early 2000s. The city took on the demolition of the former Coachman Motel when unfortunately it did not look as good as it does in that historic photograph. The city, after the Tiff district was established, or during the establishment of the Tiff district, purchased the former vacant house property that was most recently owned by the Smith family adjacent to the Coachman Motel property. So we kind of refer to that as the Smith lot. That property, it was a large single family home, had been a residence for many years, but then was converted to a couple of different commercial uses and then demolished. The city was motivated to buy that property in order to be able to control it and be able to better partner with the developer on the future redevelopment of the Coachman property and to gain additional frontage on Washington Street to support a larger, more comprehensive redevelopment of that block. So we really see, as I've highlighted here in yellow, some significant opportunity remaining to be tapped into within this Tiff district. Opportunity for redevelopment on both the north side of Washington Street on the Coachman property, potential renovation of the church that exists there, and then also in the south block. Half of that block is a surface parking lot previously used by State Farm as a part of their office building in the downtown, which they have now sold. Also a former bank building and a former dry cleaning building there. So buildings that are on now their third or fourth generation of use. Really opportunity for redevelopment seen there. City staff is being active in marketing the former Coachman property. We have this property listed up on CoStar, a national real estate service advertising platform that developers across the country use. And we're also talking with local developers whenever we have the opportunity to, when they're seeking development sites in and around the downtown. We tell them about this site. It is included in the enterprise zone in addition to being within an active TIF district. Really, this is a great gateway to the downtown and is called out in the city's downtown strategy document, really promoting the city to be thinking about redevelopment of these blocks. So that's kind of the backstory on the TIF and the current active project, the redevelopment of the former high school building. We have detailed in the annual report some of the financials related to the redevelopment of the former high school building into the affordable senior apartments. Originally, the renovation of that building was to be complete of the former high school by August 15th Unfortunately, the construction was impacted by the pandemic, and that slowed this project down along with many other projects here in the city and nationwide. City staff met with the developer and with the assistance of our attorney, Kathy Field-Orr, negotiated a amendment to that redevelopment agreement to extend the completion date of the project to December 31st, 2020. So that's the end of this year, the end of the month we're currently in. And then we're also allowing the developer until the end of December 2021 to obtain the required National Park Service Historic Preservation Certificate that is a requirement of the developer to obtain as detailed in the redevelopment agreement. We really want that project to be done to a high standard, the National Park Service standards for historic redevelopment. So that concludes really the summary of activity in the downtown East Washington Street TIF district. Be happy to answer any questions that anyone might have regarding this TIF district.
Just Austin, do you know if there's any occupancy at this point in time or expected occupancy coming up in early 21? I just don't know when occupancy is expected for tenants, actual tenants.
For the high school building?
Yeah.
Yes. We have not yet, as far as to my knowledge, issued the occupancy certificate for them to actually start to occupy the building. That is the condition for the developer to obtain that occupancy certificate. That's kind of project done. That's the metric for measuring that. I know the developer has been active in showing the building to prospective tenants, and their feedback has just been, very excited to potentially, live in a school building that they went to school in or their parents went to school in, things like that. So I think leasing activity is very strong. They're just waiting to get the project complete. So, but we do expect that to be hopefully by the end of this month.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions regarding this TIF district? All right, well, seeing none, I'll pass it back to Melissa.
Thanks, Austin. That concludes the review of the annual report for the downtown East Washington Street TIF district for fiscal year 2020. We will now move on to our public comment portion of the meeting. Per the city's public comment policy, each person desiring to make a public comment will be provided 3 minutes in which to do so. Does any member of the public wish to make a public comment at this time? I believe we have no one here in City Hall to make a public comment, and we have no one online either. Austin, is that correct? All right. Well, seeing that we have no public comment, would a member of the JRB like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting for the downtown East Washington Street TIF district?
So moved.
Will let the record show that Dr. Barry Riley motioned to adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
Second, Treepack.
Sorry, you go.
All right, let the record show that Letitia Treepack seconded the motion to adjourn. Katie, can we get a roll call vote?
Camille Rodriguez,
Aye.
Deborah Skilrud,
Aye.
Letitia Treepeck,
Aye.
Dr. Barry Riley,
Aye.
Kimberly Smith,
Aye.
and Melissa Hahn.
Aye. And just one last comment, just to remind everybody that you can go to the city website at www.cityblm.org/TIF to learn more about the city's TIF districts and to view the annual reports that were discussed today. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us at this meeting today, and we are adjourned.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes, happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.